Today on our Take a Stand, we talk to Pran Krupp, who's an entrepreneur from Bay Area, and he's also a supporter of AAP. And we also have Neeraj Patel, who is a die-hard Modi fan, and I've been seeing all your posts all over. So it's a great conversation to have between the two of you as to why you think who is the perfect candidate. I'm going to start with Pran. Modi says we should see Delhi as a global city, but in the last few months, the language and the action has been very, very disrepute, right? Not only the national capital, but of the entire country. African women is being ill-treated, daughters from Manipur were ill-treated. Now a son from Arunachal Pradesh has been killed. Now this does not cover us with a lot of glory. So what do you have to say to that?
First of all, I think Mr. Modi shouldn't be telling us about issues that bring disrepute to the country. And I think that's one of his weakest points. So I think he shouldn't be.
And why do you say that?
Because he's got enough baggage from the past, which he has to answer for. And it's not just people in India, but it's people all over the world who have questions about what happened in Gujarat under his watch.
Right.
So I don't want to get into the debate of what happened at that point, but I'm just trying to put things in perspective. Because what has happened in Delhi over the last 30 days, a lot of it has to do with media blowing things out of proportion and focus being sort of shifted to the wrong issues. So for example, what has happened in the case of, the Kidki extension, right?
Yeah.
So nobody knows the truth with regard to what happened. And people are starting to point fingers. They're starting to talk about racism. None of that is proven. I mean, what has really happened there, nobody really knows.
Arvind Kejriwal as a chief minister of that state is accountable and responsible, right, at this point in time. And what has he really done?
Now, just in this case itself, right, if you take the case of the Kidki extension, people in that area have a genuine problem, and they have been trying to resolve that problem for the last 1.5 years. They have written letters to everyone all the way up to the Home Minister. Now, when it comes to a new chief minister in Delhi, they feel there is some hope. They've actually come to these guys and said, listen, can you solve this problem? So when the law minister was called in and he said, let me see what is going on there, because he had no better options.
That brings me to the question to you, Neeraj, that the Aam Aadmi Party accused senior leaders of BJP, including the Prime Ministerial candidate Mr. Modi, of trying to bring down Arvind Kejriwal's government just so they don't win it. I mean, what kind of politics is this?
I think so. If you check within the last couple of months, Modi has never talked about Arvind Kejriwal at all. He has not talked about Arvind Kejriwal. He is just telling Delhi people that why Arvind Kejriwal joined Congress. He was fighting against Congress and BJP. Why he became a chief minister of Delhi.
Well, that could be a strategic decision.
First of all, he joined Congress party. That's his main main agenda, that why he joined Congress party. If he wants to become a chief minister without Congress, he can become a chief minister of Delhi. He can re-elect. We can have a re-election in Delhi, and then he can become a chief minister if he's right. If he's right. If he's wrong, then people will show him. There are lots of AA party right now. They are resigning from AA party. They are resigning, like Madhu. She was a co-founder of AA party since last 10 years, and she was working with Arvind Kejriwal, and she resigned 3 days ago.
Right.
Why do you think people are leaving the party?
See, the difference between a traditional party and an Aam Aadmi party is that Aam Aadmi party is very unconventional. Everybody can express their views freely. It's a truly democratic sort of setup. It's not the same as, let's say, in a BJP or in a Congress. When in the Congress you have the Gandhi family controlling everything. In the BJP you have Modi and the RSS controlling everything. So it's not like that here. People are, well-educated people who come out and say what they think. They're free to speak their mind. So sometimes there is going to be some kind of misunderstanding or the other. So
I agree to your point that, people leave party, people join party. We can't hold anybody responsible. I mean, people join groups and leave groups and more people join. I mean, that shouldn't be held against somebody. But to answer his point of the fundamental reason why AAP was given that much predominance was because it was fighting against corruption, particularly Congress, and they joined Congress. So that came like a big debate, and in my mind I may have that question. He has that question that did he do the right thing by joining Congress?
Okay, let me respond to that. I think it's a very fair question. First of all, when the elections were over and BJP had 32 seats and Aam Aadmi Party had 28 and Congress had 8, the BJP folks said, we will support, let them support, Congress is there, why don't you form the government? The thinking at that point was that these guys are incapable of governing the state, they're afraid of governing the state, so they're running away from responsibility and asking for a fresh election. That's what BJP guys said. And then Congress, out of the blue, went in and said, we are going to give them unconditional support. There was no even discussion between the two parties. Kejriwal has openly said that. I didn't even have a phone conversation with Congress. They wrote a letter to the Lieutenant General saying, we are ready to give unconditional support to Congress, to AAP.
Would that be perceived as a person who is backboneless and cannot stand up for what he's fighting for, and under given circumstances would be doing whatever comes as an opportunity for him? And in politics, in the long run, how does that pan out is because politics is all about your stand.
Correct. I think that's a fair point. Let me explain. There is a technicality here that most people are, forgetting, that the BJP, the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party haven't joined hands. They have not become one party, and Kejriwal is not part of Congress. This is a minority government. These people are still in the opposition. Congress is not part of the government. So the issue comes in as to who is running the government, and it's clearly the Aam Aadmi Party. So typically what happens in a coalition government, and the kind of problems that you're pointing out, has a lot to do with, let's say, Manmohan Singh's government, right? The DMK folks were part of the coalition. They're all part of the same government. So the DMK guy says, I'll do whatever I want. And you had the 2G scam, right?
Yeah, so that could be, you're saying, was his strategic decision, and to achieve the final goal, he had to do something. But my question to you about Modi is that, don't you think he was very racially motivated all along? The RSS, the BJP, and, all the things that he's done in the past. We could ignore, we could say he was not responsible, but bottom line, he is racially motivated, and it's all about being Hindu for him, right? For him to lead a country that is secular, how is that going to work?
Okay, I think so. A secular word doesn't apply to Narendra Modi. There's a one reason why. Because if you check his history of any kind of TV interviews or rallies or anything, anytime he has never ever said that I'm a Hindu. He never speaks like
that.
He never says that, oh, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai. Prime Minister of our country, if you check since 1974, the speech on 26th or 15th of August, the speech they always give Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai. Narendra Modi is only one politician in entire India. He always says, my Gujarati or my people.
If you think about Mr. Modi and think about all what he has done in his past, you should take the good and the bad together. So what is tied on his head as bad, if that were to happen at a national level, we are in serious trouble.
But at least he's a known devil, right? We don't know because Kejriwal doesn't even have a track.
Let me cut it down. Let me cut it down on that one. Let me cut it down on that one. That everybody are talking about 2002 riots, right? Narendra Modi. Then you guys don't respect the Chief Justice of India. People from around the world, I know somebody from England. He also told that he is a member of parliament in England. He said that if you guys don't respect your Chief Justice, then you are not a true Indian then. You should respect the Chief Justice, what he has got a clean sheet about that one. Yeah, so why we are talking about 2002 every single day, everybody are talking about 2002. Since 2002, I'm a Gujarati, again I'm repeating I'm Gujarati. Since 2002, Ahmedabad has not been shut down for one day. That means what? Since 1947 to 2002, Ahmedabad had a curfew for at least 10% yearly. That is 35 to 40 days Ahmedabad has a curfew. Since 2002, not a single day there is a curfew. What does that mean? That means people are happy, people are prospering.
Why?
So that's why? Because of a leader like Narendra Modi.
It's the same thing in Singapore. Everything works
Singapore is like a small town like in Gujarat.
They'll take
Singapore, Hong Kong, they are like a small town like Ahmedabad. Yeah. So you don't talk about that one. There are only few people. So that's why they will be happy.
You just gave an example of no curfew in Ahmedabad. Why is there no curfew? Because people are terrified.
Not in Ahmedabad, in whole Gujarat.
Yeah, maybe in all of Gujarat.
So what does that mean?
The community is probably terrified.
No, that is wrong.
So I think at this point in time, India is the focal point. Everyone's looking at India. It's a nation that's about to either explode or collapse, right? So are we doing the right thing by giving India in the hands of someone without experience? Are we taking a big risk by doing that? And I love Arvind Kejriwal and whatever he stands for, but I'm not sure that it is going to do justice to a nation that's about to become the biggest nation.
No, when you think about it, the BJP today has a presence only in about 5 or 6 states in the north, right? It's completely absent in the south. So why does the leader of one party suddenly become, you know, the man with the magic wand and who's got all the answers for everything? That's the fundamental difference between the vision of the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. The BJP says, vote Modi to power. He's the god. He has all the answers. He's been the god of governance in Gujarat for so many years. He's going to transform India, right? The Aam Aadmi Party's message is very different. We are talking about people empowerment. We are talking about, in fact,
but it is not tested yet. See,
it is not tested.
I mean, leadership is not tested yet. I mean, he's coming from a very, you know, a sense of non-corruption and clean government and giving everyone power and all of that. It's not tested.
Yes.
My point to you is, at this point in time, can we risk India in the hands of someone who is not experienced?
Okay, let me just set this aside. The same idea. Let me give you an analogy. Since we are in Silicon Valley, we have so many startups here, right? In the 1990s, Yahoo was the #1 company. Everybody was talking about portals, right? In the 2000s, we had Google come up with search. It was completely new. At that point, nobody said, hey, can these two kids from Stanford run a big company? Today, they are running the same company. What happened to Facebook? Facebook came from nowhere. One kid out of Harvard came and started.
You're talking about a developed nation, India, okay?
Yes,
and
this is a political startup which has come about in India with radically new ideas. Everything from funding to candidate selection to, you know, putting out their finances in public, everything is an open book. That is completely disruptive and new and unheard of.
I think
and
so,
if we get it right, we will transform India forever.
If you consider the votes, what's the difference between the votes what AAP got, what BJP got, and what Congress Party got? On general, BJP got more votes than anybody else in Delhi.
I would personally love for someone to run the country without corruption. I mean, my vote goes all for that. I also want Modi to bring India to a level that he's done with Gujarat, and he has done the development and all of that, and has led that state very well. If he can duplicate that for the rest of the nation, then I would really go for him. But at this point in time, let's wait and watch and see what happens. I think you're dying to say something.
There's some point of Narendra Modi which I want to address to the public and to you and I and to you too. There are 3 things what Narendra Modi did in Gujarat. Development, development, development. How? In all 3 sectors. One is agriculture, one is education, and third one is, you know, what we can say, this cattle farmings and stuff.
Okay,
farming. Farming, you know. I'm a born farmer. My dad used to, you know, we do have like acres of land over there. My dad used to do farming, and he's doing right now also. Right now, our growth in same land, it's like 10 to 15 times more than what we were doing before. So you know what we were earning at the 15 years ago, we were earning 100,000 rupees. Right now, same land generates 10 lakh rupees, you know. Yeah. So what is the meaning of that? Why? What happened? Because of our government, because of Gujarat government. They took an initiative to bring us a knowledge. Right. And that's what he is doing.
Yeah, let me respond to that. I think there are a couple of points I want to make on that. I mean, let us assume for a moment, I mean, there's a constant debate. Congress people will say there is, you know, governance is not that great. BJP says, oh, Gujarat is the best in governance. Let us hand it to them and say, okay, here's an example. He's had positive results. Great, you know, Gujarat is terrific. But look at how Gujarat has been transformed, because Narendra Modi has had complete control over the last 10 years. It's a one-man government. He has no opposition, so to speak. In the national level,
why do we need opposition? Why can't we give him that power in the central capital of Delhi?
For a growth, there is no opposition.
If he has been a good leader, make him the leader of the nation.
So sure, let him win. But BJP's got only 5 states.
Why always we go with opposition?
BJP's got only 5 states. There's no presence in the south. How are they going to get the seats they need? He's not going to run the country with the same kind of freedom that he did with Gujarat.
I think
not going to happen.
this election
we'll have to make that happen, right? I mean, you are taking Arvind Kejriwal's side and you're making Modi weaker. Is that the right thing to do? Because if we give him all the power, because at this point in time, we are only worried about India and what it can accomplish and achieve in the next 10 years. It's very, very crucial and important, right? So if he has proven his leadership that well in one state, why don't we give him all the power to run it for some time and see what difference he can make, instead of trying something which we don't know whether will work or not work. And that's my only point. I mean, I love Kejriwal. I mean, I would drive miles to meet him. Don't get me wrong on that. That man is great. He's done something. I'm all for him. I mean, I wish I could be like him. If you have any comment, anything to write about this topic that we had today, write to us at info@womennow.tv. Thank you so much.